What can you threaten black people with that we haven't already lived through before? We already couldn't go to your schools. We already couldn't live in your neighborhood. We already couldn't shop in your store. We already had to sit in the back of the bus. We already filled out your jail. We already had our zip codes redlined. We already had our votes suppressed. We already had our families separated. We already had our men profiled. We already had our women objectified. What you think you gonna do new that's gonna be able to intimidate us? Black people got soundtrack music. Yea, though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we will fear no evil. It is their master plan to make you live in fear so you don't fight back, so you don't lift up your voice, so you don't kick against the prick. Fear is the only weapon that white supremacy has.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially? As a single 29-year-old woman, I have 3 jobs and I'm still fucking struggling, and I'm just getting myself farther and farther into credit card debt because I don't have enough after the first of the month.
Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. Now, while millions are stressing about rising rent, food prices going up, and the cost of living getting out of control, there's a conversation happening online right now as we speak. They don't understand why black communities seem unshaken, and that realization is making these people very uncomfortable. Let's understand that everyone faces inflation and nobody is immune to higher prices, but what people are noticing is this. In the black community, there's a different kind of response. There's less or zero panic, there is more adaptation and less shock, and more of we've seen the worst. Now, here's the truth that most people don't want to say loud. When you've already been navigating struggle for the generations, economic pressure doesn't hit you the same way it does to other people. Because to black people, it's not a new thing. Budgeting tight money, making something out of nothing, that is not luck, that's experience. And community support, that's not optional, that's the survival.
The most frustrating thing about capitalism is the fact that you can watch it in real time happening, and it just really reiterates the fact that we are all getting fucked. We're all getting played. Even if you support it or you don't support it, we're all getting played. Unless you're somebody who's wealthy, yeah, you're getting impacted by it. And it's in the little fucking things. We all know the gas prices have gone up, right? So people are like, I don't care. I mean, I still need to buy gas, right? What do I care about the price? Okay, babes. Well, because gas prices are going up, yes, your tank to fill it up is going to cost a little more, but so are groceries. So is everything else that needs to be transported from point A to point B. There's also this app, for example. People were making so much money on this app, it was changing their lives. They were able to just stop working a 9 to 5 because there was this. And y'all haters can say this isn't a real job. It was to them. They were able to live off of it, and now they can't because they got bought out by the US. There's also states that don't have accessible public transportation, which means there aren't buses everywhere where you can just take a bus and go from here to your job. No, you have to Uber, you have to buy a car, and then you're forced to buy a car, which means you're forced to buy insurance, which means you're forced to buy new tires, which means you're forced to use gas. I mean, it's this never-ending thing. And now apparently people who are buying new cars are saying that there are subscriptions to listen to the radio or subscriptions to play your fucking music. Another way that they're finding to just fuck us. There was Netflix. Everybody bought Netflix. Everybody had Netflix. It was like, what, $10 or something at one time? Now it's like $20. Now there's bundle deals. Now there's Hulu. Now there's Disney. Now everything is money. Everything is money that comes from us to make the people at the top richer than they already are. And watching it all play out is just so frustrating because it's like, I just want to exist. I didn't even ask to be here. It's a fucking floating rock and I have to pay for my existence.
when people be like, black Americans feel like they're the main character. Bro, do y'all know who we beefing with? We beefing with the same person who went to war with Great Britain. Like, we going to war with the same person who dropped 2 bombs on 2 Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We're beefing with somebody who dropped crack into the black communities and flooded the streets of Compton and all the West Side cities with crack cocaine. Y'all gonna say we not the main character? The history talks for itself. We don't try to be the main character. Y'all make us the main character. Calling us a colonizer when the police department was created to literally slave patrol. It was, see, y'all other countries, y'all got polices as like actual policies. Our police system was created to stop us. It switched from slave patrol to police department. Think about it.
Does anyone else feel like they're absolutely fucking drowning financially? As a single 29-year-old woman, I have 3 jobs. And I'm still fucking struggling. And I'm just getting myself farther and farther into credit card debt because I don't have enough after the first of the month to avoid using it. It just isn't working. Full-time job. Not doing it. Got a second job. It's barely doing it. The third job. Hit or miss. If I even get paid on time. I feel like I'm drowning and I don't know what to do. I don't know if any industry is doing well right now. I used to be a server. I used to have all this cash every night whenever I would walk out with cash. And I don't have that anymore. And I don't even know if they're doing okay right now. Like, I have seriously considered quitting my full-time good job to go back to serving. Because at least I can just like use my personality and try to get more money than minimum wage or
the rich guy paying the future president money so that he could go inside and break up agencies any way he wanted to. You just watched the rich guy play in your government. He paid for that. And once they bust up all the government, then the private industry are going to come in, and now we have to pay them to fix it. So they got paid double time. And all you got out of it was a promise of a $2,000 check that you ain't gonna never get.
Got a big update on those Doge stimulus checks. Back when President Trump first started Doge, they said, oh, we're going to take all the savings and give Americans up to $5,000. Well, if you were holding your breath waiting on those stimulus checks, you should stop or you will die, because Doge was recently shut down. Reuters reports that Doge, with 8 months left in their charter, has been shuttered. It no longer exists. It is no longer saving any money whatsoever. When they first started, they promised about $1 trillion in savings, and turns out they only saved a bunch of billions, which I suppose is a lot of money, but is not enough to give every American $5,000. As someone who lives in the D.C. area and with a lot of friends that work in and around the federal government, it caused a lot of heartache with the emails asking for 3 things that you did recently and for various cuts, and just people generally worried about their jobs. In the end, Doge shuts down without really saving much at all, and all the promises of stimulus checks and money into America's pockets, that also isn't happening either. This doesn't really come as a surprise because there hasn't been much attention paid to Doge, and that was probably by design. It's just the end of another chapter of what will probably go down in history as causing a lot of turmoil and stress, but in the end having very little fiscal impact. So if you're looking forward to a stimulus check of some kind tied to Doge savings, unfortunately, that's never going to happen.
Doge didn't fail. It did exactly what it was intended to do, which was steal from working people. They didn't save a single penny for America. Oh, you didn't hear the news? Doge is dead. The Department of Government Efficiency is gone. They fired over 200,000 federal workers, and at the same time, they stole from working people. And you have people like Brad Sherman, claims seniority in Congress, been there for 30 years, doesn't even know what is illegal. Bro, you wrote a letter while they stole from working people. Doge, rest in peace. No, I'm kidding. Burn in hell.
So I posted about white folks on food stamps, and one thing I kept seeing was that welfare was created for white people. I knew that it was created during the New Deal, so I did some more research because I didn't really know the whole story, and I thank you guys for responding and helping me learn stuff. So during the Great Depression is when we saw the beginning of things like Social Security, unemployment insurance. But here's the kicker. When Franklin Roosevelt built those programs, he had to make deals with Southern Democrats in Congress, the same folks who were big fans of Jim Crow, to get the support of these racist white Southern politicians. The programs were designed to exclude farm workers, domestic workers, jobs held overwhelmingly by Black, Latino, and Indigenous people. So right from the start, Black and brown families were pushed out of benefits so that white people could get them. Then we move forward to the 1960s, and there's this war on poverty. It finally opened up welfare programs more broadly, and that's when food stamps became permanent. Well, permanent, we don't know what Trump's going to do to them, but they lasted a long time. And guess what? The minute more Black and brown families started accessing this help, the politics shifted. Welfare got a new image and a new target. By the 1980s and 90s, with Ronald Reagan and his gang, they pushed the welfare queen myth. That's a racist dog whistle meant to turn public opinion against safety nets by blaming Black women for poverty that white policies created. That's the truth, you guys. So yes, welfare was built for white people, and when others finally got in the door, they tried to burn the house down. If you want to blame the right people, you got to get curious.
I have to work 40 hours a week just so I can have a place to live. 40 hours a week makes me $2,000 a month, and my rent is $1,660. So I work 40 hours a week so I can have a 2-bedroom apartment and an extra $300 a month. Like, it doesn't cover my phone, internet, food, you know? So not only do I not have any extra money, but just working makes me so exhausted that I don't have time either. Like, I get off work at 5:30, come home, and I'm just so tired. Anything that I need to do outside of work, I then just push off to like the weekend, and I'm like, I'm just too tired to do this after work. I'll wait until Saturday. So then I end up with so much to do on the weekend that ends up having to be split into 2 days. So I have to do stuff on both Saturday and Sunday. So then I don't get a day off. I don't get a day to relax. I don't get to decompress. So it is really like working 7 days a week.
No place in Black America What is it about the Mercedes-Benz that makes it so attractive to African Americans even when they can barely afford it? And it's because it's a status symbol. That's all. And one thing we know about oppressed people, when you can't enjoy true freedom, you surround yourself with the symbols of that freedom. Absolutely. And that's why the Louis bag is so important. That's why our children will kill for Air Jordans. It's not the sneaker, it's what it represents. And if I believe I'm worthless, that means I can only add value to myself by what I put on my body as opposed to what I put in.
I don't understand how I make $34 an hour.
This video is absolutely gut-wrenching. Go watch her whole video, and she is being so raw in her emotions on her frustrations about the fact that she makes $34 an hour, which isn't a bad wage, and simply can't make ends meet. She talks about the fact that she has to buy a loaf of bread and eat toast with peanut butter and make one loaf of bread last her a whole week. I feel like so many Canadians are struggling beyond words right now, and it's just absolutely gut-wrenching. So she talks about the fact that she owns a home and her mortgage is coming up for renewal, and she's terrified. right? Because interest rates have skyrocketed and she has no idea how she's going to be able to afford the increase in her mortgage payments. So there are a few things that you could do in this situation. Now, I don't know her situation specifically, but if you own a home and you have some equity in your home, there are potential solutions. You can look at doing a refinance, which means using the equity in your home. When you do a refinance, you can take the equity out of your home to pay off other debts. Now, there are a lot of debts out there, say vehicle loans that are at higher interest rates, lines of credit, credit card debt that is at higher interest rates than what our mortgages would be. So overall, you do pay less in interest. And at the same time, you can improve your cash flow. She could also look at extending out her amortization. So, for example, if you had 12 years left on your mortgage, you can look at extending it to 25 or 30 years, which will counteract that increase in the interest rates and make your monthly payment more manageable. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to say, I don't want my mortgage to be another 25 or 30 years, and I fully understand that. But when it comes to only being able to eat peanut butter for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with toast, how is that for your health? You know, you do have to consider so many things outside of what might make the best sense. So by extending your amortization out, you can still pay additional money down. So if you were to get to a place where your monthly debt obligations are now manageable, you're probably going to be able to sleep better at night. If you can eat healthy, nutritious food, I mean, that's just going to help your mood and help you get on with every day. So when you do get on top or back on top of things, you can look to pay additional money down on your mortgage every month to get your amortization back down to a point that you're satisfied with. But it will get you through those tough times if need be. The bottom line is there are always options. Instead of feeling so defeated and overwhelmed, you can reach out, contact people, find out what options you have. Sometimes in life, it takes a step back in order to be able to take some steps forward. And that's life. It's not all roses and unicorns, unfortunately. But knowledge is power. And just knowing what your options are, talking to people, you never know what might help you. So if you do own a home and you're feeling the way that this woman is feeling, reach out to a mortgage broker. It doesn't cost you a thing. And they can let you know if there are any options for you. I mean, at least you're trying to do something about it.
I usually don't do a TikTok in a grocery store, but it's after church and everybody's shopping. So I said, well, I'll make some, ground meat and pasta later today. See that? $27.76 for 3 pounds of ground meat. Oh my God. Looks like we're gonna have to start eating a lot more carbs. Or maybe going vegan. I mean, thank God it's just me and my husband, but wow. These are like $30 a pack. Unbelievable.
3 small bags of groceries, $65. No meats, by the way, no meats. 3 small bags.
I just went to Walmart and spent $100 on nothing. I didn't get any meat. I got like pull-ups, underwear for my girls, bananas, a pack of noodles, some sausage for breakfast, body wash, dish soap, new little scrubbers, and washer pods. And then an outfit for my friend for her baby shower, and then an outfit for my son. And $100 of that stuff, it's ridiculous. This economy is literally trash. I do not know how people are living and able to just go out and buy stuff all the time. I would love it. I'd love to be in that category, but I'm not.
A lot of people are working every day, yet they can't even afford food. Families are cutting meals, skipping groceries, and standing in food bank lines that stretch around the block. This isn't the America people were promised. When politicians talk about making America great again, most people imagine full pantries, good jobs, and lower cost of living. But the reality today is very different. Food prices are breaking records and millions of America are going hungry, right? Over the past few years, grocery prices have exploded. Eggs, milk, meat, vegetables, everything costs more than ever before. A shopping cart that used to cost maybe $100 now costs $150 to $200. And the sad truth is wages haven't kept up either, right? People are doing everything right, working full-time, budgeting carefully, yet still working out of grocery shops with, fewer bags than they used to. Hey guys, welcome back again to the YouTube channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So I'm going to let some of these clips roll, then I'll come back with the commentary. Please let me know what you all think in the comment section. Credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
I just spent $197 at the grocery store, and I don't even know what I bought. I walked in for eggs, milk, and maybe a treat if I was feeling wild. I walked out with financial trauma and a receipt that looks like a CVS scroll of shame. Break it down. $6.49 for a dozen eggs that I have to handle like I'm smelling Fabergé's. Milk, $4.29 for a jug of future regret because I know I'm going to forget it's in the fridge until it's chunky. Bread, why is it $5.79 now? What part of this loaf is artisanal? It's white bread. It has one job. And don't get me started on produce. I grabbed 3 apples and the self-checkout told me that'll be $8.12. I didn't buy heirloom jewelry. I brought fruit. Why are bell peppers sold like they're concert tickets? Oh, sorry. The red one is premium seating. And then I made the mistake of walking down the snack aisle. 1 bag of chips.
A black person I know commented that she is sick and tired of white people suddenly panicking about the political climate. She didn't feel like the fear was fake. It's just that it's not new. Not to her, not to black people. Not even the fascism part. She said black communities have lived with this level of threat, control, and rollback their entire lives. So when white progressives sound alarmed now, it doesn't feel urgent to her. It lands as amnesia. She said something else that matters. Many black people are not rushing to join these white panic-driven marches and movements. Not because they don't care, but because history has taught them that white people show up in a big way when they're afraid, and then they disappear when the ongoing cost gets too high. That's hard for us to hear, and it's super important. If you're white and this political climate is scaring you, think about it this way: fear does not have to turn into flailing or performative outrage. It can turn into discipline. It's not the time to ask black people to calm you down, to teach you, or to support you as you feel your fear. That is not allyship. That's extraction. What helps is building up our own stamina instead of urgency. Learn the policies. Learn the history. Support the people already doing the work. And don't expect praise. Stick with it when it gets boring. Stay with it when it's slow. Keep doing the work when nobody's paying attention. Use your access. Talk to other white people. Interrupt the lies and vote every time. Donate consistently. Protect organizers when backlash comes. And this isn't about proving that you're a good person. It's about turning the urgency into reliability. You can do this. I'm not an expert. I'm just an avid learner, and I hope you'll join me. Get curious.
Now, this is where the confusion comes in. For people who are experiencing real financial pressure for the first time, this moment feels like a crisis. But for others who have been through it, it feels like a Tuesday. It feels like any other day. And that gap in experience creates a question that why aren't black people reacting the same way other people or other communities are reacting? Now, let's not misread the situation. It is not that people don't care. It is not that things are not hard. It is that resilience can look like calm. It can look like adaptation. It can look like moving differently instead of panicking. Because when struggle has been part of your reality, you don't collapse under pressure. And maybe that's the real lesson that we are learning here. Different communities develop different survival tools. And some are just learning how to navigate instability, while others have been doing it for their entire lives. So what looks like not bothered is actually an experience. This is not about who is struggling more, but it's about understanding something deeper here. That resilience does not always look loud. Sometimes it looks like staying steady when everything else is shaking. Now guys, what do you think about this video? Is this resilience, experience, or something people are just about to learn? Guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section, guys. And of course, if you love this video, if you love this conversation, please subscribe. May God bless you guys. And until we meet again in my next video, guys, subscribe for more videos like this.